The Las Vegas Raiders have a couple of well-deserved days off after putting in work for a few days this week. You can already see the improvement in the corner position. Jack Jones looks even better after a great half of season last year. Jacorian Bennett looks like he's learned from his uneven rookie campaign, and Dickamarion Richardson looks like he can be something. We'll see about the linebackers and defensive line when the pads come on. Same with the running backs and offensive line. Receivers Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers are doing their thing, and first-round tight end Brock Bowers looks like an immediate star. The quarterback competition is already in full swing too, and so far, Aidan O'Connell is ahead of Gardner Minshew, mainly by default. What do I mean by default? No one has done anything to distinguish themselves so far, so we'll go to O'Connell if Pierce had to pick right now. It's an open competition, but O'Connell's the one in the seat. He earned it last year by doing what was asked of him, leading to a 5-4 record the second half of the season. That's what got Pierce the full-time coaching gig. When the quarterback helps an interim head coach become the head coach, that head coach is going to have some loyalty to that quarterback. The only type of loyalty that surpasses that is when a head coach wins the Super Bowl with the quarterback. There are a couple of exceptions like Trent Dilfer and Doug Williams who didn't come back to the same team after winning Super Bowls. However, most coaches stick with their guy unless they have a chance to get a superstar quarterback. Minshew isn't a superstar, and O'Connell got Pierce the job, so Minshew has to do something extraordinary. That's the pretense the Raiders brought him in under, and so far neither he nor O'Connell have done anything extraordinary. They haven't been bad either. They're playing against one of the best defenses in the league in practice, but they have shown some of the same weaknesses they had last year. O'Connell has all kinds of arm talent. He showed that last year, and he's showing it again in training camp. His accuracy is something special, as it broke Drew Brees' completion percentage record at Purdue. It was on display last year as he completed over 60% of his passes as a rookie. It's on display now in camp. The other day he was throwing dimes in the red zone. Quite a few of them to Bowers, the first-round pick. He was judicious with the football too. He looked like the same guy that threw 9 touchdowns to just 1 interception down the stretch last season. It was something else to see him grow up in front of our very eyes last year, especially knowing he was playing catch-up after he started out with no practice reps since he was supposed to redshirt last year. But unfortunately, O'Connell still has a problem that has followed him into training camp this year. He has to get better under pressure in the pocket. His passer rating under pressure was 63.8 last year, and he had a play Friday where he made a bad throw under pressure that was picked off. If O'Connell can settle down a little bit under pressure, he'll win some games for the Raiders this year. Minshew is a scrapper out there on that field. He has all the moxie you can want in a quarterback. He's not a great athlete, but he finds a way to run and scramble to avoid the rush at times. He's pretty accurate and doesn't have the biggest arm, but there are times that he makes throws that wow you. He had to play for injured starter Anthony Richardson for the Indianapolis Colts last year, and he did okay. In 13 starts, he threw for 3,305 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. So then, of course, you always hear Raider beat writers talk about how he almost got the Colts into the playoffs last year. But if you really look at it, Minshew should have gotten that stacked team with running back at the time Jonathan Taylor and receiver Michael Pittman and a great defense to the playoffs. But the problem is he's a gunslinger without a gun, and since he's not a great athlete, he tries to do more than he can do and turns the ball over too much. He has 14 turnovers and only 13 starts last year. He threw an interception Thursday on a play where he was trying to improvise and throw the ball on the run. He needs to play more within his skill set. Here's what we know. The Raiders have a great defense, and you know what else? They have a ton of pieces on offense. Where do you see Zamir White in the running game? Then there's Adams, Myers, Speedster Trey Tucker, and Bowers and Michael Mayer at the tight ends, throw to. So all they need is a quarterback that can get the ball to them. It's really early right now, but I have to say O'Connell is ahead of Minshew. Again, no one has distinguished themselves, so it goes to O'Connell. Pierce wants to win on defense, so he's going to want his quarterback to manage the game when he has to, and he's seen O'Connell do that. Therefore, as of right now, O'Connell's still on track to be the starter. Thank you for watching. See you next time.